Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Monday Project Call and welcome to July. We're going to open this week's meeting as we usually do with Friends of Mozilla. I'm going to reload because I didn't get it on here. The first and only Friends of Mozilla this week comes to us from Caitlin. Thank you. Many thanks to all of our contributors who submitted code contributions to add-ons projects last month. And a special thanks to Mirefly, Shavam, and Abhi for submitting 2+ patches each. Let's give a round of applause to all of our code contributors to the add-ons project. We have a couple of events coming up this week. As noted in the wiki, today is Canada Day, so we are without many of our Canadian compatriots. I hope you all are enjoying your national holiday. Wednesday, we have on the Wednesday, July 3rd, we have the add-ons community meeting at 15:30 UTC. That's 8 a.m. Pacific time. You can see the wiki for dial-in information. On July 4th, it's a holiday in the US, but that doesn't stop Homebrew Website Club from happening in Brighton every Thursday at 5 UTC or 6 BST or 8 PST and 10 PST in Clearleft 68 Middle Street, Brighton, England. Details in the wiki if you want to RSVP. With that, we're going to move on to our speakers for the day. This is going to be a quick meeting. We have several speakers. We're going to start off with David Bryant, Head of Advanced Development, with the Emerging Technologies Weekly Update coming to you from Portland.
Hello, Asa, and I can't actually see them from here, so hopefully I'll get them right. People are pointing.
Thing, go here, and then that one, I think.
Nope. So things are generally quiet the week after all hands. Either people are recovering or they've springboarded into other things. So kind of a quiet week in emerging technologies, but two things I wanted to highlight. One, last week, we Mozilla co-hosted with Vimeo the Big Apple Video event in New York City. We talked a little bit about the build-up for that at these meetings previously. Great event. We had over 100 people show up for the event in person. We had about 1,000 people participating around the world online. Not surprisingly for a video event, especially when one's co-hosted with Vimeo, things kind of happen great in video and online, so that worked. 8 technical talks, or highly technical talks from a number of industry experts, leaders from Intel, Cisco, Twitch, YouTube, and more. Also, not surprisingly for a video event, all of the talks are already online in super high quality video. There's a link in the notes here, and you can watch and follow along. Certainly conversations about AV1, Vimeo, and Cisco both had announcements about their support and commitment to AV1 around the event, both before and during. And like I said, with the interest that we saw in this particular event, people are already talking about how we can continue to sort of keep the conversations going and keep that collection of folks together at that event or other similar meetups and events in the future. So thanks to everybody that was involved in helping us organize and carry out Big Apple Video. The other event, seems like the theme for the week, and the reason why I am in Portland, other than it's just an awesome place to be and work, is that Mozilla hosted the 9th annual Indie Web Summit here in the Portland office this past weekend. So, we had sort of people here in the office, over 50 attendees. I think, we saw ebb and flow over the course of the weekend and a bunch of remote participation from people via Zoom and Twitch. The whole goal of Indie Web Summit is sort of an extrapolation from and on top of our Indie Web Camp events that we do and talk about at these calls regularly. And the idea both to sort of do a camp style event here with people working hands-on on their own websites or a lot of the infrastructure that enables the Indie Web, and that was on Sunday, and then talks from people about sort of where the Indie Web is going, some of the technologies that are shaping both the creative and the implementation and the community aspects of the Indie Web. So it was a really good event. My website is substantially improved, although I'm not sure I'm ready to share it. But in any event, it's better as a result of all the good help I got over the course of the weekend. Keep an eye out for upcoming Indie Web camps like the ones we just talked about, others in Oxford, Amsterdam, Brighton, and more. You can join the movement. If I did it, you can too. And we announced yesterday that the 2020 Indie Web Summit will again be here in Portland, June the 27th and 28th. So for folks who weren't able to make it this weekend or need an excuse to come to Portland, mark your calendars and we will see you here next year. And that's it for me, T. Back to you, Asa.
Thank you for the update. Next up, I believe we have me, Asa Dotzler, coming to you with the weekly Firefox update. Firefox 67.0.4 is our current stable release. During the All Hands Week, our security team responded to a Firefox security bug and a sandbox escape with 2 releases, 0.3 and 0.4. 68 is in the beta channel. They're building RC today, so it's basically done, and it ships to the stable release next week on July 9th. Firefox 69 is in the nightly channel and ships to release on September 3rd. Today is the soft code freeze for nightly, so developers are strongly urged not to land any risky fixes between now and merge day next week. Over the last few weeks, there have been some great changes landed in nightly. Because we weren't here with you the last 2 weeks, I'm going to summarize some of the changes. First, the protection report at about:protections is coming along with a header, a chart, and a footer, showing for now some dummy data on how many trackers and what type of trackers Firefox has blocked in the last week, and your total number of trackers blocked since the feature was enabled. Again, this is dummy data. There's a bug on file to start populating it once we get actual data in the database. We moved crypto mining blocking from the strict to the standard mode of content blocking for Firefox 69. Before this change, crypto mining blocking was only on in the nightly channel and early beta channels, but now it's going to ship to the 69 release as part of default content blocking. Flash now requires click to activate every single time. We've removed the always activate feature and the remember this decision feature. So Flash options in Firefox 69 have changed. This is continuing on our path to Flash deprecation. Password generation can now be disabled in Options Preferences, and users encountering a new password field that doesn't specify autocomplete equals new passwords have an option to fill with a suggested or recommended strong password. This was a little tricky because when you encounter a new password field that's appropriately labeled, we offer a little pop-up that does give you the opportunity to pre-fill a password. But some sites don't actually put new password label on their new password fields. So we've added a context menu so you can right click on that password field and pre-fill with a suggested strong password. This is further progress on enabling strong passwords for our Firefox community. And with that, we are going to move to the next speaker, Andrew Krug, coming to us this week with the IT Minute. Andrew, take it away.
Weekly Minute Update, where we tell you all the things IT is doing to support Mozilla in its mission to keep the web a global public resource, open and accessible to all. Lots of great updates today with tons of participation after the company all hands in Whistler 2 weeks ago, or as I like to call it, Camp Mozilla. I can honestly say that we all got the full Whistler experience. Just look at the change in this fellow from day 1 to day 5. Don't worry, I've washed the shirt. Now, several updates from security. Security takes many forms at Mozilla, as demonstrated at the Security Minicon held in Whistler. Security practitioners from across the company gave 5-minute lightning talks on projects they were working on or problems they found interesting. Have a security question or want to join the conversation on the next big thing? Find us in Pound Security or Pound InfoSec on Slack. After all, security is everyone's job. Next up from security is an update on product innovation. That's right, I said product innovation. Last week, Andrew Krug, that's me, Guillaume Destender, and Gene Wood presented MozDef, also known as Enterprise Defense Platform, at AWS's inaugural security conference in Boston. Workshops were conducted both days of the conference and generated lots of interest and feedback on the emergent product. A pre-release program for customers interested in trying out Enterprise Defense Platform will begin on July 8th. Interested parties can contact me. All media-related questions should be directed to Ellen Canal. The final update in the security category today is that we've launched new Tls Guidelines for Server-Side Tls. We all know that configuring your web server, database, or mail server for TLS can be highly error-prone, so we've launched a new version of the Mozilla SSL Configuration Generator to help out with that. Using the tool, getting the TLS configuration right is as easy as clicking a few buttons, so special thanks to April King for that. On the AV Ops front, lots of great work as well. Last week, the YVR office officially said goodbye to video and converted 100% of conference rooms to Zoom rooms. This effort is part of a two-phased approach in collaboration with WPR to optimize the Vancouver office for collaboration, bringing the total number of conference rooms to 12 at this location. Special thanks on that to Tara Robertson for finding space in the community where the old AV equipment could continue to provide value. Related to that, this will kick off the effort to convert all office conference rooms to full Zoom rooms and deliver an improved conferencing experience. Look for an email on that in the coming days. With that, we'll close with the Zoom tip of the week. Did you know that Zoom Mobile is feature parity with the desktop client? Give it a try on a mobile platform today. With that, that's the minute. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Andrew. Quick reload of the agenda to see if anything else has come on for speakers. It doesn't look like we have any new speakers, but we do have some new employees. We're going to start off with introduction of new employees with Eric Rose, remote, who has an introduction. Take it away, Eric.
Thanks a lot, Asa. I am very fortunate to welcome Daniel Hertenstein to the Fathom team, who is joining us as a staff engineer, and he'll be working remotely from Baltimore. Daniel is a brilliant developer and machine learning guy. He'll be making Fathom smarter and helping all of your teams recognize all sorts of meaningful things on web pages. Please reach out and say hello to him.
Welcome, Daniel. Next up, we have an introduction coming to us from the San Francisco office with Nicolina.
Hi there. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Great. We have Catherine Pfau joining us in San Francisco this week in the Pocket office. She will be the new brand partnerships lead on the sales team. She'll be sitting in New York, but if you see her around this week, please say hello.
Welcome, Catherine. Taking it over to the Portland office, Benjamin Sternthal has an introduction.
Greetings, Mozillians. It's my pleasure to welcome Sam McGann to the Mozilla family. Sam is joining us as a front-end developer in marketing, and will be working out at the Portland office.
Welcome, Sam. And next up, we have a couple of introductions coming to us from Will Klauser at his remote location.
Thanks, Asa. I'm happy to announce that Lauren Zagai and Barry Chen are joining the subscription services team. And Lauren's a full stack engineer, but specializing in front end, and we're super grateful for the help there. Barry Chen, he landed some patches in Firefox last year. If you've used the screenshots tool in your page actions menu, he did a bunch of work there. They're both in the central time zone of the US, so if you see them around, say hi. Thanks.
Welcome, Lauren and Barry. Do another quick reload of the agenda to see if any other introductions have come on. Yes. Oh, yes. We have one more introduction then. Dan Veditz here in Mountain View with an intern introduction.
Hi. Let's see. Are we on camera? Okay. This is Benjamin Erickson. He's a security intern working with Christoph Kirschbaumer, who's in Europe and not here, working on CSP feature Navigate 2 and origin policy support, which are features that websites can use to help tell the browser some extra parameters so we can protect them. And Benjamin's started last week and there was no meeting, so here he is today.
Welcome, Ben.
Thanks so much.
Unless anyone else has anything? Yes, we have one more introduction in Mountain View. Come on up.
I want to introduce Marco Cavares. He is the new engineer on the IT side and will help the projects. Like he's a full stack engineer.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I think that's it. A 15-minute meeting today. Not as long as some, but longer than others. We'll see you the same time, same place next week. Until then, keep on rocking the free web.